Hi everyone, Tranthony Durango here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Angel Olsen LP, Burn Your Fire for No Witness. This is the latest full-length LP from Missouri-based singer-songwriter Angel Olsen, her big JAGJAGUWAR Records debut, a label I'm sure that she is at home with considering JAGJAGUWAR's long-standing appreciation and love of folk music, folk rock, alt country, and I'm not surprised that Angel is at the level of attention that she's at currently considering her last full-length LP, Halfway Home, an incredibly charming record. There are some pretty unique and personal song topics on this record. Of course, Angel's fantastic voice, which I think has a lot of very beautiful twang to it when she's reaching up into her higher register. She's got a lot of range. I think her delivery is very emotive. It's very tender. It can be powerful and gripping as well. Some of the tracks on this LP, like The Waiting, are incredibly catchy, fantastic songs. And I was hoping to be blown away by a record that was even more straightforward and hard-hitting with this latest LP of hers, and it felt like I was going to get that when songs initially started to creep out from this thing, like Forgiven Forgotten, which has a bit of a driving garage rock vibe to it. It's got a lot of momentum, it's got a lot of volume. Tracks like this are some of Angel's loudest and most aggressive songs yet. But I don't really think this track and some others on here have the same level of charm as some of Angel's earlier stuff. What happens on this song to me sounds a little too aligned with the dozens and dozens of vocally suffocated garage pop songs that are sort of floating around the internet these days. I think Burn Your Fire packs more punch, but occasionally drowns out what I think made Angel Olsen so interesting in the first place. Like on the song High and Wild, which has all this pretty loud but very lax and loose rock instrumentation playing, and Angel's vocals are great, but they hardly feel like the focal point of the song. And because of that, I'm having a slightly hard time connecting with this track and others on here emotionally. Plus, of all the louder tracks on this LP, the song High Five is really the only one here that maintains that rootsy, country-influenced sound that Angel Olsen rode to get to the point where she is now. I'm not advocating that Angel Olsen needs to stay in the same stylistic lane throughout her entire career or just come out with another country-styled record just to please me, but I don't feel what has been offered on this record instead is as interesting or more interesting. For example, the song Stars, whose guitars and drum beat feel more fitting for a Grizzly Bear tune, I think, or the song Lights Out, which has kind of a classic rock vibe to the way the guitars and the pianos are played, especially at the end where the guitars are soloing. The playing is tight, but I think the instrumentation itself is a little tired and kind of flavorless. So the songs on this LP instrumentally are either overloaded and off the mark in terms of the style of music that they're playing, or they're so skeletal and stripped back that they hardly make an impression on me. Like the opening track on here and the song White Fire, the longest track on this LP, standing at 6 minutes. And the only thing that really grips me about this song are the somewhat surreal lyrics and the ritualistic, mind-numbing pace of Angel's guitar strumming and singing. It would be a great slow burner if there were just more parts to it, kind of like the song, which is a song that has a great vocal melody, really sweeps me off my feet at the beginning, but then it doesn't build on what it started toward the finish. Musically and compositionally, I think tracks like this are just a little too safe and unadventurous, and songs that finish off this LP too, because I don't think this album ends strong. For me, the title Burn Your Fire for No Witness is a little misleading because I don't feel like this album is this intense, lonesome, unsuspecting exorcism of emotions. Instead, I think quite a few tracks on this LP, production-wise anyway, kind of pander to some really uninteresting underground rock trends going on right now, and when this record isn't doing that, I think it's dousing what little fire it has in ice water. Unfortunately, on this LP, I felt like there were a lot of songs that were painfully unmemorable, and they were delivered with singing that feels nowhere near as passionate as what Angel has done in the past, which is unfortunate because her last LP had me feeling like her voice was her most unique and interesting characteristic. I'm feeling a strong 5 to a light 6 on this LP. Transition, if you've given this record a listen, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Hate it? Why? What do you think I should review next? And that's it. Anthony Fantano, Angel Olsen, forever.